Good morning. My name is Toan Nguyen, and I am the student of Sociology 1. And my discussion session is 30. So, today, we are here to confront a pressing issue that's impacting our communities deeply, which is lack of funding educations. So here's the tables of content that I will mention in this presentations today. So first of all, definitions role of education funding in the modern society. Secondly, what happened to the education funding. Thirdly, the consequences of lacking education funding. And lastly, I will um, show all of my resources that I found it for this topic. Let's start by getting clear that what education fund is all about. So, according to Collins Dictionary, um, education fundings is the money provided by a government or saved by parents and teachers to finance for their children to access learning, and the school may use that fund to operate their systems. Um, in simpler terms, it's the financial backbone of our education system. Now, why does this matter? So, education funding is not about balancing budget, but is about ensuring that every child, regardless of their background, has the opportunity to receive a quality education. It's about alleviating the financial burden on families and empowering educators to do their best work. Let's talk about what happened to the education funding. Um, despite its critical importance, education funding is facing a crisis. There are several factors contributing to the shortfall. So, first, reliance on state and local resources. So, many education budgets heavily depend on funding from states and local governments, which can vary significantly based on economic prosperity uh, of the region. Um, and secondly, I believe is limited federal role. While the federal government provides some funding for education, its role is often limited, leaving many states and districts struggling to make ends meet. And thirdly, is inequities in funding distributions. There are disparities in how education funds are distributed, with wealthier districts often receiving more resources than those in low income areas. And, um, and lastly, is insufficient over funding. Um, Simply, there is not just enough money being allocated to educations, leading to schools operating um, on their necessary needs budgets. So these challenges become even more pronounced during economic downturns and as exacerbating in already dire situations. What is the consequence of lacking education funding? Now, let's talk about what happens where education's funding falling. Uh, oh, I'm so sorry. While during the presentations, I forgot to delete uh, this slide because this is I use a template. But okay, back to the topic. First of all, is an increasingly inflationary economic situations. When school lacks adequate funding, educators may face layoffs or reduced salaries, leading to economic instability in our communities and hindering overall growth. So next one is the low quality educations. So without sufficient funds, school cannot invest in updated technology, quality teaching materials, or professional development for teachers. This results in a decline in the quality of educations, leaving students like non-prepared for the challenges of the future. Um, Third one is the low income household unable to afford their children tuition. Families living paycheck to paycheck as our society nowadays. Um, but often struggle to afford basic school supplies and little extracurricular activities or advanced courses. This perpetuates cycles of poverty and limit opportunities over mobility. Um, so the next one is illegal child labor. So as we know that if like the government doesn't have enough money to distribute it, so the children they cannot access to educations, and that so to let their family survive, so children they have to participate in the labor market early, and that is illegal in our society. And children they have to do like very hard work every single day, and instead of they have to sitting on the table and then study and receive the knowledge, and they deserve that. um, and six is scarcity of future talents education employees. And so as we know that every single children is their talent, and if they cannot access to the educations of because of lack of funding, um, they they miss opportunity. And I will show that example by the video for the next slides. And seven is like a facility qualities. As we know, if the school they don't have money, they cannot buy any like supplies for students. And eight is increase the gap of society. So I, so while doing the research, I read that like mm, children in Nigeria, the children in Nigeria, they lack of funding has led to the crisis in education, with many girls unable to attend school due to inadequate facilities and resources. This is not only hampers their individual opportunities but also perpetuates gender inequality in society. And um and also like without investment in education, so we're squandering our greatest resources, which is human potential. And I will show this video, but
Now,
because of the
as parents and
presentation
learners
is
from different parts of the
kind
country
of
are
pretty
marching
long,
to
so I
various
will
secondary
like
schools for the ongoing Form 1
summarize this one pretty
admissions,
quick.
hundreds of students transition policy. Fatma Bugu reports.
Amidst the joyous chaos of students reporting to Form 1, poverty remains the biggest hindrance to the successful implementation of the 100% transition policy. Davin Musoma, the brightest star of Mogorwa Primary School in Tenges, Baringo Central, faces a bitter reality. He scored 382 out of 500 marks, securing a spot at Nanyuki High School. His
Okay, so in this video, basically they said that like in Nigeria, the lack of in Kenya, I'm sorry, in Kenya, the failure to invest in education has left many children from low-income families between the rich and the poor gap. They miss opportunities, and I think I think it is uh I think that the children they deserve to receive the better educations by the government supporting. um
Now, as
Okay, so here's so I would like to summarize of my presentations that the crisis in education funding demands immediate attentions, and we need action. It's not just about the balancing budget, it's about investing in our future and ensuring that every child has the opportunity to success. um, I think that let's unite the advocating for increased funding and support for our education system. By government, um, they can have like any investment package for anybody who interested in education funds, and they can put it as like as an investment like IRA or some investment account, but it is related to the children educations. And because when we invest in educations, we invest the prosperity and well-being for our communities.